my food, my house, my
Yes.
money, my
Yes.
this, my career, my that, my this.
Yeah.
But when you come in here, if
It's like
say,
it's always ours.
exactly,
It's always ours.
Exactly.
It's always It's our house, our money, our food in the fridge, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no. My dad never said mine. He's always said ours, and that's the way I like to treat my. Bring up our children as well. My
Yeah.
wife and I. It's always ours. You're right. That's a great point actually.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk. In this episode, we are here at our Istanbul office with Nez Jan. We also call you Nez Jan. He is the manager of our client advisory department. And in this episode, I really wanted to talk to him because it's been a while since we've done one of these talks last time.
It has been a while. In fact, I felt forgotten and neglected.
Really?
And seriously, I was starting to get hurt and everything. I was starting to think about my future and what I should do.
And you developed a fan base, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, there are
How
a
come
lot
I
of
don't
people
know
in the
about it? How come
comment
nobody's
section
told
now.
me?
Well, I mean, people who consider themselves as the fans of Nez Abi, why don't you just comment them down below and show your love to him? But
Man needs love.
But I do think you have a sizable community.
Well, thank you very much.
I don't know
so
if-
kind and so sweet and thoughtful.
I don't know if they're
What?
yeah.
What are you thinking about? Tell me.
No, I didn't. I wasn't sure about the numbers, but
Right.
I've seen on the comment section down below that there are a lot of people who, because you're very genuine, and we don't talk about the real estate industry or where to invest or how to invest, but we really and truly talk about your journey as a man, as a who you are. You're like a book that we can't stop reading.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you very much. Well, you talk about property with Cameron, and you guys are doing a great job. So, no need for me.
Yeah.
Listen, before we go any further, let me ask you a question, just out of curiosity. Sorry, guys, got enough of the subject, but turn around a bit. Turn your face.
Right.
What's that in the temple, man? What have you been up to?
Yeah.
What's that in the temple? What have you been up?
This?
Whose woman were you trying to pick up? What's all this?
Well,
whose chicken have you been chasing? What's going on?
it's just that I box on a regular, and from time to time we spar.
The bag hit you back?
No, yeah. I mean, we spar. I actually have sparring partners that I pay to spar me, to beat me up, and usually I would put on a headgear. But the problem with the headgear is that it makes your head too big, and you can't just move. So you taking some shots that you're not meant to take it otherwise.
So the target's really big.
Yeah,
It's
the target's really big.
Yeah.
And yesterday, actually, we said, okay, why don't we just take off the headgear and we just,
have some proper fun.
Yeah, have some proper fun. and I ended up with this, which I'm really happy about. I mean, as a boxer, you need to have. Look, everybody's got a hobby, right? Some people, Kajin, for example, loves horses. Okay. I don't know what he finds in horses, and I like boxing.
Okay, fair enough.
I like hitting people, and I like getting hit.
We believe you.
Sorry, guys. Let's get back to the subject.
Sorry,
and
guys,
our subject for today is that, look, you were born and grew up in Australia. Yeah, you have children. You have two beautiful daughters. One is
25, turning 26,
25
and the
years
other one's
old. The other one is 21 years old. And they grew up in Turkey.
They did.
So you have the experience of growing up, raising a family here in Turkey.
I do.
And you yourself have been raised in Australia, which is a Western country, although it's not located in the West.
No, it's not. It's
the
other side of the world.
It's the other side of the world, but still, it's a Western culture, and Turkey is a pretty different culture. Let me ask you a question,
please.
Australian education system versus Turkish education system. Now, right out the bat, I know that Australian education system and Australian universities and schools are better than Turkish education system and Turkish schools, as it is. But yet, I've never experienced that firsthand. And you've seen the both sides. There's a difference between on paper better. There's also reality, right?
Yeah.
So how big of a difference both education systems have?
Well, look, I'm not an expert, and this is a very broad, as you said before, question. This is not an easy question for me to answer, but I found, and when you say better, I have to disagree with you there. I wouldn't call it better.
Yeah.
I'd say easier and maybe better setup, if you like. Maybe easier to go through the motions, easier to, what's the word? I'm trying to pick the right words here. It is easier to study in Australia, but the education system, I disagree. I wouldn't call it better. It's a bit more difficult in Turkey. It's a bit more complicated in Turkey.
Yeah.
Yani, once again, I would say, to be honest, personally, anybody can study in Australia. It's not the same in Turkey. It's not easy in Turkey, especially, once again, looking at my little daughter's homeworks and everything. It's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say, look, it depends on what you call better. I would say Turkey is slightly better. Let's be honest.
Really?
I would say Turkey's slightly better. Well, Turkey's more geared to teaching, if you like. Australia, it's more geared to preparing you for the lifestyle, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Like the oh man, it's difficult to explain. Seriously, I'm finding it.
Well, I mean, no, I understand.
You
You're not an expert, so you
no,
don't.
But like in Australia, it's geared to get you through the motions, to finish schooling, to get your degree, if you're good enough, and then straight into working life. In Turkey, they try and sometimes it gets frustrating because it's too perfect. For example, English in Turkey, learning English in Turkey is not easy. But people are asking me about future tenses and past future, present tenses, and I'm like, we never learnt that in Australia. For example, when I come to Turkey, what's the past, present, future tense of so and so? And I'm like, what are you talking about? For example,
are you saying that then the Turkish education system is more theoretical?
Good. That's perfect.
And
yes.
Australian education system is more practical.
Thank you for helping me. Yes, that's the word, theoretical. In Turkey, it's too theoretical. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Yani.
What do your daughters do?
Okay, the oldest one, she finished physical education at university. She graduated. She did a 4-year course there, and currently she's working for one of the best tennis clubs in Turkey as a professional tennis coach. She's a tennis player. And she studied physical education at university. So she's doing what she prepared from the age of 6 years old. She's been playing since the age of 6. That's what she does. The youngest, as I said before, is currently at university. First year at interior designer and architect. And she hopes to become an architect, an interior designer once she finishes.
Let me ask you this question: having a family in Turkey is a novelty. It's a big plus, right? In the society.
Yeah.
Is it like that in Australia?
No, it's not.
And when you compare it, being a family man, being a father, or raising a children in Australia or in Turkey, what are some of the key differences between these two cultures?
It's massive. That side is massive. Australia, it's friends first, and then family, and then maybe neighbours. Like we were chatting with Shevki, who's from Australia, the other day, and he's telling me he's lived in a place called Blackdown for 20 years, and he never met his neighbour until the last day that he was moving out, that he was coming out to Turkey.
Yeah.
So Australia, there's no neighborhood relationship. It's a bit, it's a lot worse. But in Turkey, it's all about family. It's all about neighborhood. You can trust your neighborhood. You can trust your neighbors. Like in Turkey, it's family first, and then your street, your neighbors, your neighborhood, and then friends.
Yeah.
In Australia, and I think that just gives us gives Turkish people a great bond. It just makes them a bit closer. It unifies them. I mean, people don't move out of house until the age of 18, 20, or after, until they're married in Turkey.
Yeah.
While in Australia, I know that after 16 or 18 years old,
Your parents are kicking you out. No.
They're you're told to get lost. You're told to pack up and leave, type of thing.
Really?
Or pay rent in the house. You know what I mean? It's completely
I
different.
can never understand that.
Oh,
How
trust
can
me,
you pay
man.
rent in your own house,
Dude,
in your father's house?
Dude, in England, a lot of people are paying boarding, for using the bed, for using one room and everything. And
Are you
they're
kidding
paying,
me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. It's,
Well, I used to live in France.
in Turkey, it's an insult. If you ask, if your son says, "I'll pay you boarding or this or that," but out there, it's not.
It's too
so
individualistic.
It is,
and
yeah.
I think that's another thing, right? I mean, in Turkey, there's a collectivist culture.
Yeah.
The collectivism is a dominant culture here. But in places like Australia and in most places in like Europe or
Yeah.
France, where I come from, is a bit individualistic. It's all about
Not a bit.
yeah,
It's very individualistic.
it's
I agree.
my food, my house, my
Yes.
money, my
Yes.
this, my career, my that, my this.
Yeah.
But when you come in here, if
It's like
say,
it's always ours.
exactly,
It's always ours.
Exactly.
It's always It's our house, our money, our food in the fridge, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no. My dad never said mine. He's always said ours, and that's the way I like to treat my. Bring up our children as well. My
Yeah.
wife and I. It's always ours. You're right. That's a great point actually.
Right now, I'll tell you something. My father can. Okay, when I was growing up, right? It's just like any other Middle Eastern, parent. My father would just, he would just show me some love. Okay, he would show me some love growing up.
Show you some love.
Yeah,
Right?
show me some love, a tough love. But to this day, I can if my father says one thing, I can never make him say that shit twice. If he says, Allah, come here, I gotta go there.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm 30 years old. I don't care if I have $1 million in my bank account. If my father says, hey, I want you to do this, all right.
I'm 50. I'm
You
50.
you don't.
Alaattin, I'm 50, and if my dad says jump, I say how high. I don't ask questions. If he says come, I run over to him. Yeah, I'm like that, and I was brought up in Australia, so I do like that culture. I agree with you. I do. I really do like that. There's a lot of love, a lot of respect shown, and that's the beauty of this country. Getting back to our topic, that is the beauty of this country. So
Let me ask you another thing.
please,
You have daughters.
I do
One is 26, the other one is 21.
exactly.
These are young girls.
Yes, they are.
And they were even now that they have their own jobs and schools and everything, but they were even younger, going at the age of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and they lived in Turkey.
All their life.
See, I'm not just gonna be sexist here and say for girls, but for children in general, or children growing up, how safe is Turkey? Would you have any a safety problems as if you would think, oh, okay, they're in Istanbul now, or are they safe or are they not safe? And how did you manage this as a father?
Well,
Did you have any concerns of them growing up?
let me cut in here. In England, Australia, like those countries, I'd be worried after 8 p.m. In Turkey, it doesn't bother me, especially in Fethiye. They could be out till midnight, 1 a.m., so on. It didn't bother me. I knew they'd be back home. I knew all would be okay. It's pretty much like that in Istanbul as well. I'm more worried in London after 8 p.m. than I am in Istanbul. Okay? So I don't know if that answers your question, but I'm not worried in Turkey. I'm not... obviously, it is on the back of your mind, but I'm not worried. It's not like they'll be all right, they'll be back. If anything goes wrong, bang, a phone call and so on. But so after a certain time, even in Sydney, after a certain time, you didn't want to be out. You know what I mean?
Why do people, I don't know, drink a lot? Or is
They
that
do drink a lot. Yeah, they drink a lot. There's a lot of heckling going on. There's a lot of picking on going on. There's after a certain time, this booze kicks in, and after it gets dark, the vampires come out. And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And they start chasing blood and so on. But seriously, though, if I did have to compare, Istanbul it feels safer. Fethiye is the safest. I mean, Fethiye, like in Fethiye,
You know it like the back of your hand.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows me. Everybody knows them, and ain't no big deal. But even Istanbul. Feels safer than, those bigger cities around the world. I mean, we hear stories about some of these big cities, and I've been to England, I've been to Australia, but I've not been to the other countries. Like I've not been to Germany or France, so I don't really know it as much. But we do hear stories.
Because it's girls or boys. Say if your children is studying at another city,
Yeah.
or studying away from home. you know, in Turkey always that there are always amjas and teyzes, like uncles
keep
and
an eye
aunts.
out.
You know,
Yes,
they can always
course.
keep an eye on the young lad or the young girl, or if there's any problem, you know, 5 a.m. in the morning, they can come and help out. Because I studied as well. We know how this is.
Yeah.
You know, when we were young, when we were studying, we always had a teyze. And aunt
Watching over you.
yeah,
Keep an eye out.
yeah, keeping an eye. And when my mom and dad used to come and visit me at my student house, they would always talk to the aunts there, say, how's the boy doing? All good, you know, keeping an eye and all of that.
Is he behaving
yeah,
himself?
Yeah. So that's good, and I don't think you can find it anywhere else. Well, I mean, thank you very much for joining, for opening yourself up, your life up. I mean, we would really appreciate that because at the end of the day, it's all about. Guys, you ask these questions and you have these questions in your mind, and here is an example, and I'm using Nez Abi pretty much to, you know, extract from his life. Oh, okay, this guy has done that, and he's been through this, and he's been through that. So it's not a case of talking to a client who made that move, because the client, you know, made the move 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
no.
You made the move 28
years
ago,
ago,
28 years ago. Oh my God, it looks like an age ago. So you have this
I'm
amazing
ancient.
20-something years of experience over there in Australia and over there here in Turkey. And both countries, I would take them as the representatives of different cultures. Australia, I see it as a representative, or it shares a lot of elements with the Western culture. And Turkey, we got this beautiful mix going on, the East and the West, and the community and the
We're right in the middle of it, aren't we?
Exactly.
Melting pot, as you like to call it.
The melting pot and the collectivist living versus
Yeah.
individualism. You know, which place is the safest, and, you know, where's the education is better, the family values, and etc. So thank you very much for joining.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, glad to have the service. I hope it was helpful, and
It certainly was. I mean, guys, do you think if it was helpful, please comment them down below. Show some love for Nez Arabi.
the old man. Show
show
the old
some
man
love
some
for
love.
the
Show
old man.
Madam,
Yeah.
show me some love, guys.
Yes.
Come on. My team, show me some love. I need
All
the
right,
love.
guys.
All right,
If you
guys.
want to reach out to us with this WhatsApp number, you can reach out to us. Also, please give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.
Peace out, guys.